Welcome back to the unit tutorial for Science Year 3, Unit 2, Rocks and Fossils, and this is video part 2. This video will walk you through the following areas: how to adapt activities and lessons, and key moments within the unit to look out for. Adapting activities can be easily done by using the ebook workbook and the snipping tool to paste the activity onto a Word or publisher document and edit it. From there, you can print it and stick the adapted activity into your exercise book or directly over the workbook original activity. You may be familiar with the snip tool, but it can be found by searching in the search bar or simultaneously pressing Windows, Shift and S. Drag your mouse to highlight the area you want to copy, and that selection of your screen can be copied onto your clipboard and then onto your Word or publisher document. I'm now going to go through some of the activities in each of the lessons in the pupil workbook and how to adapt them. We don't have time to go through every single activity, so the ideas and suggestions I present here can also be used if fitting in the activities we don't unpick. In Lesson 1, pupils need to read a text then answer the following questions. You can support pupils by highlighting the keywords in the text. You could also highlight the keywords in the questions. For further support, you could colour coordinate the words in the text to the relevant question. Stretch pupils by asking them to answer more challenging questions from that lesson's learning, such as, what part of the earth do people live, walk and build on? In Lesson 2, pupils need to undertake an investigation. Support pupils by adding images of the rocks you used in the previous lesson, or give the rocks themselves to pupils to examine. Print off the phrases in the box pupils to read and stick into the correct box. And give pupils name cards of the different rocks for each row. Stretch pupils by asking pupils to answer more challenging questions from that lesson's learning, such as, can you write a sentence explaining the properties of each different type of rock? In Lesson 3, pupils need to answer some questions and undertake an investigation. Support pupils by highlighting the keywords again in the questions. You could give pupils the keywords to add to the correct sentence. You could create aim and method cards for the pupils to read through and stick under the correct section. You could give pupils rock cards from your class sample to stick in to predict the more permeable to least permeable rocks. Stretch pupils by showing pupils an image of a rock they haven't seen before and ask questions such as, do you think this rock is permeable or impermeable? And why do you think that? In Lesson 4, you can support pupils by using the answer slide to alter the question so pupils read through the correct and incorrect information and tick or circle their answer. This could be done for one question or for all of them. You could use a slide to add to your model to the table to support pupils' understanding. And for further support, you could create cards for all the rocks pupils to read, thought and stick in. Alternatively, you could reduce the number of rocks pupils need to write about. Stretch pupils by asking pupils to answer activities such as, is David correct and how do you know? In Lesson 5, pupils need to read the information about fossils and answer the question. You could highlight the key information in the reading text, or again, you could use the reading on the slides and colour coordinate that highlighting. Using the answer slide, you could create information cards to sort and stick. And to stretch pupils, ask pupils to complete a more challenging activity from today's learning, where they draw the stages of fossilization with labels. In Lesson 6, pupils need to undertake an experiment, then draw it. For activities that require drawing, you could take a photo of the experiment once completed to stick in, or partially draw the experiment in advance for pupils to complete. Stretch pupils by asking pupils to answer more challenging questions, such as, can you write a set of instructions on how to complete the investigation for someone to follow? To prepare for the unit, use a plan an engaging hook to get pupils excited for the learning to come. Print off any additional resources per lesson, and gather resources for specific lessons by reading through the unit planning guidance. Hopefully you now feel confident about accessing and teaching this unit. Any questions, please send to primarymastery@curriculumplus.org.uk. We welcome all feedback to ensure these resources are as supportive as possible. Thank you.